As we have in previous clan conferences, we've begun with a prayer, and we're happy to have the Orthodox Church do the opening prayer this morning. Would like to invite Father Michael Boyle from the St. Michael's Orthodox Church forward. Those of you who choose, please stand in prayer.
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. O Heavenly King, the Comforter, the Spirit of truth, who art everywhere present and fillest all things, treasury of good gifts and giver of life, come and abide in us and cleanse us of all impurity and save our souls, O good one. O Lord, we ask your blessing upon us this day, and we give you great thanks for the life and the breath which you have sustained us with. And we thank you for the gathering of so many souls together to celebrate and to share in the preservation and the celebration of life. We ask that you today and all these days to follow, that you would bless us all with your great glory, that you would grant us your peace, that you would grant us your joy, and that through your Spirit that you would unite us in your love, not only for us, but for our families who are home, and for all those friends and family members who are not here with us. We ask that you would bless all of us and all generations to come through, and the blessings of the fruits of the labors of which we shall endeavor to endure and to procure in these next few days. We ask through the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, through the prayers of the most holy Theotokos and ever Virgin Mary, of Holy Saint Herman of Alaska, and of all the saints, O Lord Jesus Christ, bless us and have mercy upon us. Amen.
Would like to, on behalf of the Tlingit Tribes and Clan Conference Organizing Committee, welcome you to the 2012, what we lovingly have now called it the Clan Conference. My name is Jerry Hope, and I'm the Executive Director. I have the honor and the humility, that is, of carrying on something that Andy John Hope III had the vision of and came to fruition in the first Clan Conference in 1993 in Cluckwan and Haines. And since then, as you have identified in the program booklet, a number of Clan conferences, of which quite a few of them were held here in Sitka. And I know with the welcome of the Deputy Mayor from the City and Borough of Sitka that the general community of Sitka is happy to have Sitka as the host community once again. This year we wanted to emphasize a couple of different things. One is the Alaska Native Brotherhood 100-year anniversary. They're going to hold their centennial convention here in Sitka in October. And the Clan Conference, in recognition of the A&B, wanted to do at least a couple of things. One is to make a reference in the theme. Many of you are probably familiar with the English phrase that has been stated many decades this is for our grandchildren. This is not for me, it's for our grandchildren. In talking to my father, Andrew John, they knew him as John Hope. His name was Andrew John Hope, Jr. In his A&B history referenced the 1929 Grand Camp Convention in Haines, where the land claims lawsuit was initiated. And many of the elders at that time recognized that it was going to be a long legal fight. And so in recognition that it was going to be a long fight, they said, this is not for me. This fight for our land and the land claims is for our grandchildren. And the Alaska Native Brotherhood became the organization, and along with the Alaska Native Sisterhood, became the organizations that carried on that phrase for decades and decades. And then it even carried forward after 1971 when the Alaska Native Claims Settlement Act, ANCSA, was passed. And the Native corporations began saying, for our grandchildren. I spoke with a number of elders over the years, and one of the things that they had referenced is that something that goes and looks further into the future. They said, this is not for me, this is for those who are not yet born. And to have that kind of vision takes exceptional thinking, it takes exceptional planning, it takes exceptional action for those who are not yet born. And so the theme that we have this year gives, in its own way, a nod to the Alaska Native Brotherhood in recognition of their 100-year anniversary coming up in October. Another way is a number of plenary sessions are going to take place primarily on Saturday about the Alaska Native Brotherhood. And along with an effort to recognize the Alaska Native Brotherhood 100-year anniversary, the organizing committee for the Clan Conference also, with humility and respect, responded to the Clan leaders' request to be involved in the Clan Conference. To the organizing committee, this was a no-brainer. It's an honor to have the Clan leaders present, involved. And all we are doing is providing a forum for them. It is with their knowledge, it is with their wisdom that we're able to go ahead and receive information, guidance, sometimes counseling, and a bawling it out once in a while. But we are very thankful for their love and support primarily. So with that in mind, I wanted to say very much a very strong thank you for all the presenters who are taking the time to present their information, for all of you who are attending to either add to the presenters' knowledge or maybe challenge them a little bit. It's hard to say, but mainly to have a positive dialogue. It's with your involvement as presenters and with it as attendees that makes the Clan Conference something that we could form and shape for those who are not yet born. Plan for those who are not yet born. I wanted to make a couple announcements, but before that, I wanted to also recognize some of the organizing committee. So when I recognize you, please make sure to stand. Marcia Hotch, please stay standing. Ishmael Hope, Lance Twitchell, Dion Laite Caliente, are you here? Let's see, who else in the audience? Oh, Dick Downhauer, Nora Downhauer. That's actually one person. Steve wanted to say Henriksen. And is Peter Metcalf in the room? Or is Elvis in the room? Peter Metcalf, stand with me, please. And others that I might not be recognizing. Kathy Ruddy is our event coordinator. Kathy, where are you? Okay, she's doing what she's hired to do. Harold Jacobs, otherwise he would be Elvis in the room. Harold, please, is there anybody else that I'm missing? Please give them a round of applause. I wanted to say that with Brother Andy's vision, he also had a very good eye on talent. And these people who just were recognized are an incredible group of talented people that can put together a clan conference and any kind of conference that I've seen, but especially the clan conference, with a lot of skill and ability. So my hat's off to Brother Andy, but certainly for each and every one of you who are on the organizing committee. Thank you. Good. Sheesh. Wanted to make mention of a few changes in the program. They put this together for me right away. It's just a few minor changes, 5 pages. So please take notes. Go to page 1. No, just teasing. On Thursday, 1:30 to 3, session 3D, as in dew spawn. That is canceled. The reading and writing hints for fluent speakers with Shirley Kendall is canceled. Now, here is one that is rescheduled. Native Science Camps by Alberta Jones. Presentation and lunch was scheduled for Saturday is moved now up to Friday. So the Native Science Camps by Alberta Jones, presentation and lunch scheduled for Saturday is moved up to Friday at the Centennial Hall, noon to 1:30. And then lunch. Some free lunches will be available. Sign-up sheet is at the registration table, or bring your own lunch. Your option. On the evening, the clan leaders have requested a change, and so Raven Night, that was originally scheduled for tonight, was moved to Saturday, which will be combined with Eagle Night, and they want to call it now Clinket Night. And also, for those of you who are in dance groups, I will shamelessly solicit your group to dance on Saturday night. Otherwise, I'll be giving the dance groups a call. And also, they wanted the youth, speaking of youth, the clan leaders wanted me to approach the Gachaheen, the Sitka Native Education Program, as well as the Mount Edgecombe High School dance groups. So, Tristan, I'll be talking with you a little bit more as a follow-up to this announcement and request. New presentation tonight will be on repatriation, the status report, and that's with Eric Hollinger and Steve Henriksen and others. So that will be at the Sitka Nakahiti, is that right, Steve? Yeah. So there still will be an event tonight. The event tonight will be changed, and that will be primarily on repatriation status. Thank you, Steve and Eric, for having that presentation and stepping in as we adjust the schedule. Information for presenters. Presenters find Roxy Morant, Peter, or Kathy to download presentation at any point prior to your presentations. What they want is anything that you have in PowerPoint or pictures, anything in your presentation that will call for electronic support in your presentation, any visual presentation to go along with it. Please find Roxy, Peter, or Kathy, and they will be glad to they'll be glad to download your presentation. Please arrive in your designated room at least 30 minutes prior to state of session. Have your presentation loaded on a thumb drive or portable drive. If it's on CD or DVD, put it on thumb drive in advance if possible. True to the name of the conference, Sharing Our Knowledge, presentations will be taped and posted online. If you have questions or issues, please discuss with Peter Metcalf or myself. Time limits, these are very important, and that is 20 minutes per usual presentation. Fairness, some presenters will be bounced if others run over. Breaks are not cushion for runover. They are for comfort and transitioning to the next event. Videotaping, that's going to happen, so just be aware. Moderators will control time. Please be observant if they indicate that the time is up. Wanted to recognize some of the major contributors to this 2012 Clan Conference. The organizing committee had identified, and the clan leaders, there's at least a dozen that are here to contribute. Presenters, approximately 100 presenters who volunteered to share their knowledge. Are there presenters in the room? Please stand if there's presenters in the room. Please give them a round of applause, presenters. We're going to print out a list of the volunteers, of which there are many, but we also want, because we want to make sure that they get recognition. It's with volunteers that really make sure that this runs more smoothly than it otherwise would. So a big thank you to the volunteers. Sponsors, Tlingit Readers Incorporated, Dick Dauenhauer and Nora. Please give them a round of applause, along with their others that are on the board. Also, please give the Alaska Humanities Forum, the National Science Foundation, in consideration for their contribution. Give them a round of applause. Supporters and donors, Department of Education and Early Development, State of Alaska, Alaska State Museums, waiving admission fee at the SJ Museum, Broadband Technology Opportunities Program, the Manashkum High School, Greg Razchik, Smithsonian Institution, the National Museum of Natural History and Arctic Studies Center, Office of Digitalization, the Alaska Association of School Boards, Central Council of Klickitat Indian Tribes of Alaska, Gold Belt Heritage Foundation, Sitka Tribe of Alaska, Westmark Shiatka Hotel, Totem Square Inn, and Alaska Airlines. A special thanks to Anna M. Kurtula, Director of the Arctic Social Sciences Program, National Science Foundation, Laura Hsu, Grants Officer for the Alaska Humanities Forum, Rory Morant, a State Technology Coordinator, and her team from the Alaska Department of Education and Early Development, and Deborah Lowe. She's the Dean of School of Education, University of Alaska Southeast. Please give them all a round of applause. I see that the City and Borough of Sitka has an elected official here to give a warm welcome, and after that I will either call upon a representative from Sitka Tribe of Alaska if there is one here to give a welcome. If not, I will say a few words. But this gentleman is involved with the City and Borough of Sitka's Assembly and has also been past chairman of the Sitka Tribe of Alaska. He also, I believe now, has got another position, and that's an associate judge with the Sitka Tribe of Alaska's Tribal Court. And this gentleman has had a long working history with the tribe, with the Native community. So it's an honor for me to ask you to help welcome Pete Esquiro, Deputy Mayor for the City and Borough of Sitka.
Thank you, Mr. Hope. It is indeed my pleasure to be here with you and to welcome you to our fair town. My name is Pete Esquiro. I've lived here in Sitka for approximately 40 years, maybe a little over 40 years now. And I have just recently been involved with the City and Borough Assembly of Sitka, and I am the Deputy Mayor for the city. On behalf of Mayor Cheryl Westover and the Assembly of the City and Borough of Sitka, I would like to welcome all of you to our town. We are very honored that you have chosen Sitka in which to hold this very important conference. And we too are very excited about the A&B and helping to celebrate their 100th anniversary in October also. We would like to thank you for affording us the opportunity to host this all-important conference. I was fortunate enough to have been a friend of Andrew Hope III when he first started talking about having the need to have conferences such as this one. I remember those days when Andy, as I called him, sometimes I just called him III, but most of the time it was he received it in the spirit in which I intended. I remember getting calls from Andy many times in which he says, you know, I need to talk to you. I need your help. And we would get together, we would talk, and he would tell me about all these grand plans he had of bringing hundreds of people together to talk about our Native traditions and our clans and many other topics. I remember when Andy called me up very vividly one night. He said, I have people coming in on the ferry. Can you help and transport them? And oh, by the way, we also need places for people to stay while in town. And so I said, oh, sure, Andy. And I think, to make a long story short, I think I put more miles on my vehicle that week than I did in the whole balance of that year, But it was really, even though I did not fully understand the full significance of what Andrew was trying to do and what his vision was, I remember being very thankful for the opportunity that was afforded me by being able to meet so many elders from different communities throughout Southeast Alaska. And in that process, I had a chance to visit, and I had a chance to learn many valuable lessons of life from them. I was looking around this morning and looking for some of the people that I had the privilege of knowing and having talked with, and I didn't see any of them this morning. And I know where they are. They're still with us. We just don't see them the way we saw them at the time they were with us. I know that over the next few days you're going to have many opportunities at your conference to experience the true meaning of sharing knowledge. Sharing knowledge and it being for those who come after us is an extremely powerful concept, a concept that humans, I don't think, are born to really understand quickly. I like to think that we tend to understand those much more rapidly than others in the world. Again, I thank you for letting us here in Sitka share our town with you. I hope that during your stay that you'll have the opportunity to wander about, enjoy some of the attractions that we have to offer here in Sitka. And we, once again, thank you all for coming, and we hope to see you again in October.
Thank you very much, Pete. Really appreciate your generosity, your kindness, and your welcome on behalf of the City and Borough of Sitka. Wanted to welcome Stephanie Edenshaw, who is treasurer for the Sitka Tribal Alaska Tribal Council, to give a welcome on behalf of our federally recognized tribe. So for those of you who, actually everyone, give her a welcome. Friends and foes alike, Stephanie.
Welcome, everyone. On behalf of Sitka Tribe of Alaska, I'd like to welcome you to this nice conference. My cricket name is Chuck Clough, and I come from the Eagle Nest House, and I remember my mom always saying that that they were working for our kids, and now it goes, and then it went to the grandchildren, and now it's for the unborn. I'm really proud to be a part of this, and on behalf of the Sitka Tribe of Alaska, welcome. And like Peter Esquire said, I hope everybody gets a chance to enjoy Sitka. It's the best time of the year, the heron season. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Really appreciate your kind words and the STA support of the Clan Conference. They have a new general manager, and his name is Theodore Ted Wright. Of course, Brother Andy also always liked to tease him when he first saw him come in any room. He'd say, "A doctor's in the house," as he has his PhD, I believe. And with Ted's administrative position, he has made sure to give support to the Clan Conference to the best of his ability. There's going to be a change right now. The clan leaders wanted to do a ceremony, and then after they do a ceremony, we'll hear from the keynote speakers. And as they make their way in the room, I want to make a couple announcements. One, Kathy Colkhorst Ruddy had encouraged me to announce that there will be a bus that will take you to the luncheon event this afternoon. It'll be at 12 noon outside. Wanted to say thank you to the Sitka Native Education Program for providing that transportation. And Jolene, are you the driver here yet? Jolene. So stand up, Jolene, so people would recognize, okay, that's Jolene. If you have any questions about transportation, Jolene will be glad to let you know what the bus schedule is. Thank you, Jolene. Give her a round of applause and snap. I had let the clan leaders know that we are ready for them, and I believe that they are making their way in the room. Yesterday, after the Heritage Cultural Tourism Conference, the clan leaders had given their a small ceremony, and after that, I encouraged people to pray for the herring to spawn. So with that, would you all hold hands? And no. I wanted to give a little bit of recognition to the technical team who are doing the recording. You'll notice there's some really tiny cameras, such as the one right here on this tripod, and there's going to be some others that are going to be in the different sessions throughout the clan conference. But they are contributing to do a digital recording of the clan conference, and they are not able to stream it live. All these technical terms I'm trying to catch up with. FB, Facebook, streaming, all these kinds of good things that are happening today in terms of technology. But they're going to have to bring that back to the University of Alaska Fairbanks, from what I understand, download it, and then they will be able to provide that online, and we will work with them. I'll ask them before I make a broad announcement, but it would be our request to make it available for those who request either your session, the session you're interested in, or the entire clan conference that they record. Hey, Lance. My oversight, Rick Caulfield is representing the University of Alaska, and we thought as an organizing committee that we have representation from them again this year as we did in 2009 at the Clan Conference in Juneau. And they have been very supportive of, as a matter of fact, they provided the means and the expense for the organizing committee to meet every month, sometimes once a week the last month. And also, they have provided some staff, such as Lance, Dick Dowenhauer, a little bit to help out. And it's also they've done an improving job, as we have challenged them to, in terms of curriculum within the University of Alaska system and educators. So with that, we want to hear from the University of Alaska. Please help welcome Rick Caulfield.
I would like to say Gunesh Chish for this opportunity on behalf of all of the faculty and the staff, the students, and the community supporters of the University of Alaska Southeast. I am Rick Caulfield, and I'm the Provost, and I have the privilege of working with our faculty, our deans, and our students to ensure the quality of our programs, not only in the Juneau campus, but here in Sitka and in Ketchikan. We are one university serving all of Southeast Alaska and beyond. And our mission really is student learning that's informed by the peoples and the cultures of Southeast Alaska. And we are acutely aware of the fact that we carry out that mission in the ancestral homeland of the indigenous peoples of Southeast Alaska. And for us to do that effectively requires active and creative partnerships. So I'm really here on behalf of all at UAS, Chancellor John Pugh, who couldn't be here, to listen and to learn and to be able to take away the knowledge, the wisdom from the elders and all of you, so that as we continue to work and improve our programs in Alaska Native languages, in Indigenous studies, in understanding the traditional ways of Southeast Alaska in the 21st century, that we can incorporate that into our programs. And so I ask your help as we move forward. And I'm very, very excited about it because we've got some terrific faculty and staff who are working, many of whom, as you've heard already, have been a part of planning this conference. And I want to thank them for the work that they're doing. And I look forward in the years ahead to some very exciting and very creative partnerships, working with the tribes, working with the corporations here in Southeast Alaska. So I ask that you provide that help. We've got some programs working on Native languages. We have the PETUS program, which is preparing Indigenous teachers and administrators for Alaska's schools. Ronaldo is here, who's working with that program. We're building on the foundation that Nora and Dick Dowenhauer created over many, many years. They've already been recognized, but I can't say enough about the terrific foundation that they've created for us to continue work looking at language, arts, and cultures. And we most recently had our Native Oratory, the Native and Rural Center at UAS in Juneau, and it was just very, very heartening to see the students speaking their own language, making presentations, going on to statewide competition in the oratory. So there's exciting things happening, and we look forward to continuing to partner with you. And I'll just wrap up. I just wanted to share a brief story. My family and I had the privilege of traveling to Aotearoa, or New Zealand, a few years back, and I had the opportunity to spend time with the Maori people. I was interested, coming from Alaska, to learn about issues of language revitalization and cultural revitalization in Aotearoa. And it was really exciting. You may know that the Maori chiefs signed a treaty with the British back in 1841, which the British promptly forgot. And took about 100 years before some people pulled it out and said, remember that you had signed this document back in 1841. And one of the results of that revitalization is language revitalization. And many of you know that the Maori began a program called Kohangareo, the language nests, which have been transported throughout the world. Many people today are using that language nest model, and I myself would walk into a room, cross the threshold of that door, and because I wasn't a Maori speaker, I was studying, but I wasn't a very good Maori speaker, I had to be quiet when I went in there because the elders were speaking with the young people, 2 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old, and it was very, very exciting to see young people learning their language. In fact, the first night we were in New Zealand, I went to an event not unlike this, and the very first night, young people and elders alike were speaking in their own language, full regalia, a beautiful presentation, all in the Maori language. The next night we went back, the same young people were there, but they were rapping, and it was all hip-hop, and it was all in the Maori language, and they were 15 and 16 and 17 years old. So there was no disconnect between the ancient traditions and very contemporary use of that language. And that happened because of partnerships. And so my hope, representing the University of Alaska here, is that we can continue to build on opportunities like that. And I ask your help so that as we continue to work together, we can build on the very best ideas and the aspirations of Native peoples of Southeast Alaska. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Rick. The clan leaders are in the back of the room, and they're going to make their entrance. I see they have the Kiksati peace hat. As they make their way to the stage, please stand. We will hand the program over to the clan leaders for this portion.
Are the other ones coming in? Say something. What do I say?
Will the guests at the conference, will they enter the hall right now? The ones from out of town?
My wireless microphone there, if you'd like to use the microphone later on.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Is that on? Is it on? Yeah, I'll use that one. Yeah, okay. Is it on? Usually there's no, the warming of the hands is done only once. And it was, we went through it yesterday afternoon because it was, what the program reads is sharing our knowledge. So that's what we decided to do, the one yesterday. But a lot of the other planners did come in, our guests didn't come in until late last night and early this morning. So we're going to do it again, and like I said, it's usually not done twice, but we are going to do it just for educational purposes. So I know a lot of people out there didn't see the one yesterday either. So with that, we're going to get started. We're asking one of our clan brothers from Angoon to come up and do the explanation of what we're going to do. But it's on. How are you doing, sir? You can all be seated.
Yeah. Okay. This is really stretching the boundaries of our culture. Normally, I don't come across and explain what we're doing. We just go ahead and do it. But for the purposes of this forum, the Kickstarter people said, you need to explain to these people out here what the heck we're doing. Sometimes it gets a little too serious, so don't mind me. But the warming of the hands usually happens in another part of another building. We go into that building. Remember, we're all human. We have anger amongst us. We have little disputes amongst us. We have little things that are little pebbles, and each little pebble grows into a mountain. That's who we are. We go into that building, it's kind of misleading because they say warming of the hands. You go into that building, you know, you got petty jealousies amongst each other. Even in your business that you work at, you got somebody you don't like, but you have to work with them. That's what we do in that building. We put down our petty jealousies. We leave our weapons there. And we walk away from that building because we are clan leaders. Remember, clan leaders do not belong to themselves no more once you become a clan leader. You represent your tribe, your clan, to the best of your ability. So to leave all your petty jealousies and all these other things inside that building and your weapons, you walk out representing your tribe, and you come into this building here and say, okay, we are going to be the best human being that we are, that God made us. Yeah.
Go to Chief. Normally, it's the host clan that does the welcome, but I've asked the other Sitka clan leaders to help me with the welcome. Up here, I have my grandfather's people on a hoot, my father's people, to his Kugaish, and my brother, my brother from the Koho, Lipakadi, slave to Ish. We're going to ask if my grandfather and my father's people to start the welcome off.
Although this area, Sitka, is the homeland of the Kagwantan, it's still owned by the Kiksadi, my grandfathers. So I thank the Kiksadi for allowing us to be here today. Kunakchish, Kunakchish. Akhish Tawu. Shawat Kurakan. Akani Kakak. Akani Ganaktan. Aktashankiyan. Kurtish. Satan. Stakatiwan. I want to welcome you here to this educational gathering, a clan conference, where we all get together and learn from one another. It's always such a good feeling to be a part of something so educational and time to be with one another, to see old friends, to make new ones. So today the Kagwantan opened their doors to you, or the wolf houses, the eagle nest houses, the two-door houses, the box houses. We want you to come in, warm your hands, and be comfortable and feel protected. Once again, it's good to be here with you today. I hope this gathering is a successful one. Kunakchish Takatiwan.
Chief, Achishat, Kaksadi. Achlis Kawas, Takmachadi. Achlis Kawas, Taktain Tam. Chatkugui Shawa Yedor Sa Khatlet Dach Iceberg House. Ayed's hip. And I want to welcome the mayor, deputy mayor of Sitka into the crowd. And everybody else that's in the crowd. I want to welcome you to today. Gulchish.
To go. Gonna chase you, Sakai. Takati Hanyake with the. I'd like to thank all of you that are here. Yeah, that yes,
which either has got to school for being here to learn from each other. Kaya tata, kaya o ne, kaya o ne. Respect. Respect for each other. Respect for your land. Respect for your house. Respect for your clan. This word respect is starting to spread all over Sitka. They even have advertisement in the Sentinel about Alaska chooses respect. I hope that when you all leave here, you will all accomplish what you came here for, to speak with each other with respect, to address one another with respect. It's so hard to try to say things that you really want to say. A lot of our things are disappearing out of our clans. We as a native people, as a Tlingit people, here, Sitka, Angoon, Juneau, Huna, Craig, Klawak, all the way up to Yakutat. It's literally being taken from us. That's why I'm using that word respect. I hope that all of you have respect for each other when you leave. And I'd like to welcome everyone, all of you that have traveled to Sitka, Kick-Study land, to be here to talk with each other about things that need to be done. But just remember this, all the way from Ketchikan to Yakutat, and maybe even further, Tlingit. Respect. That word is spreading all over, and I'm pretty sure it's spreading to all the other communities. Thank you all for traveling so far to be here at our fair city, Sitka. Thank you all very much. Yeah. Gonna chase.
I went ahead of myself. I wanted to iterate on the peace hat that we brought in for our father's people. It was a gift from Alexander Baranov, a peace hat after the battle, 2004. And the robe that is sitting on, it's a centennial robe that was built at the Culture Center. Very beautiful work. Thank you very much.
Thank you for helping me. Gonna choose. Before I want to start my welcome, I'd like to address the Daisy Town. Not too long ago, it was last year, we lost one of our big brothers, Bobby Duncan. And we went over to Angoon, and we asked the audience from the Dayton people, the owners of the land, we asked permission if we could come into their land to take care of our big brother, Bobby Duncan. And they not only gave us permission, they helped us bury our big brother over in Angoon. They gave us the run of their land while we were there. They told us to act like you were home when you come into Daisy Town land. So I wanted, some of the Angoon people didn't make it in today, and they may be in later this afternoon. But I wanted this chance to thank the Daisy Town people for the way that they treated the Kicksuddies when they were going through a hard time. And we also give you, the Daisy Town people, permission to act as you would in your own land. We want you to feel at home. Our Nachane here, the imaginary Nachane, would be wrapped around the Daisy Town people so that no harm will come to them while they're here in Kicksuddy. My brothers already, it's a big part of the learning culture of how the people react to each other. I remember when I was growing up in Hoona that when guests came into town, my mother and father would give up their bedroom, their bed, and the guests that were walked into the house were treated like guests. And this is why I'm glad that my brother spoke about respect, and I hope the seed is planted so that the respect will grow and come back. It was a big part of the Tlingit people, and it needs to come back to us to make us strong again. It'll bring us together. I want to welcome all the clan leaders that are here to this conference, and all the people that are sitting out here in the audience. We wish you success in what you're about to undergo. And at this time, I want to thank the Planning Commission, the people that made plans for this conference and had the foresight to include us in this conference. So thank you very much for letting us be here. We too, the Kicksuddies, are opening our doors to our houses. And we invite you all to come in and feel at home, and so that you can do your work, and we hope that no harm will come to you also. With that, we're going to end it from the welcome part, and other than yesterday, there was no response from our guests, and usually there is no response because it's the same as a party. When you do a welcome at a party, you never get up and respond to it. But in this case, we're going to ask if our our guests would like to say a few words, and I call on the Daisy Town leader. Yes, no.
The Duckdane Ton are the closest to the leaders of Sitka. And we're going to allow the Duckdane Ton to speak first, and the Daisy Ton will go last.
And the chief, please go ahead, Daisy Ton. We see a hand Duckdane Ton, guide the knock. You that are Duckdane Ton sitting out there, can you stand up? Kun siis tiinoa jaatu wuhan Duckdane Ton hassa tiiji. Ja has vitko hassastu ania ja kiksadi. Anamach. Siis. Jaatu hasstu. Afishas, on a coach, Kaguantan. When it's cheese, you do the TV. Yeah, you can do it too. When it's cheese, you have to do the TV too. I just think it's on the old hand. She's cookies. Yeah, I'm not the host too. In There to reach the Kakadi. I had to wish like not be had to use to. I know how you take, when good has it to you, your team, back to our what the house, how this Kankasani, Tahwedi. Okay, chess. Where's Gitan? Hakani Young, Daklaredi. What's the thing too? Yaha, Kami Young, our has too, Shangu KD. Kunakwa half the train, Yaha Kataha Yuka Tunkitin. Iya Akst. They'll teach you of a car. We shout the net in a way yet to at. Yeah, that's what that. Well, not city. Yes. Respect for one another is just like medicine. This is how our old timers would have thought about it. Today, this is what I hope throughout the week that you will feel when we shake each other's hand and greet one another. Yes, we are walking on the ancestral homeland of my grandfather's people, the Kiksadi people. And this is how we as Duckdane Towns feel today. We have many houses as well. We had a couple here in Sitka. When it's Chishiya, when it's Chish God, Itiyi, Sifko Has. Yeah, when it's Chish. Cheers.
Cheese. Honorable people of the land, Kikseti,
Cheese. Awa.
Suknakari, Cheese. Taktain Tan. Deshi Tan. I also would like to thank the Deputy Mayor for being here today. All of the guests from out of town, even from Canada. Can I have the Duxlawady stand up with me? Duxlawady, stand with me. Gudish Chish, Duxlawady, for being here with me, standing with me. Gudish Chish, honorable people of the land.
Cheese.
What an honor it is for Duxlawady to be here, to be a part of this, our sharing of knowledge. I have some knowledge, but the clan leaders you see here today, because of their lineage, have thousands of years of knowledge. To me, that's daunting to think about. Because of our lineage, their father's people, their uncles, thousands of years of knowledge. The naming of this convention is fitting, the sharing of our knowledge. We're not here to tell anybody what to do. I'm here to get experience and knowledge from my clan brothers and my opposites. Gudish Chish, thank you for allowing us to be on your land.
Konashchesh, Keksadi, grandchildren, the Kagwantan, Chukunedi, grandchildren, my brother-in-laws, Makoho. Konashchesh for opening up your doors. We feel the love, the warming that you give to us. Konashchesh.
Chief, excited for allowing us to be here. Chicago on town. Indeed. Koho. It is an honor for me to represent the Sagwedi Kahit Yellow Cedar House. And I'm proud to be here and to be able to sit with my brothers on both sides. This is be a great learning experience for me, and I appreciate this opportunity. Chief.
During wartime, it was the dog salmon that would come up to us, the Deshitan, and they would grab us and hold us back, and they would say, "We want to be the first ones into battle. We will lead you out." And today, still, we allow the dog salmon to lead the Deshitan out. Kanaktan.
Manakut. Anyanach. Setuis. Choose cookies. Toya Kwasayaki. Aten Kunchiso Hetishi Tani Kahat. Aten Atoka. Hatunucha, Disi Khani, Yaigi, Hedi Shitani Kahat, Kul Chisha, Kul Chisha, yeah.
Kiksari, Anyanach. Thank you for allowing us to feel at home on your precious land. And it's Chish, my son, An Hoots. We also thank you for allowing us to stand on your land. And it's Chish, Theotish, and it's Chish. Thank you for bringing out your peace hat. And it's Chish, my father's people, the killer whales, for allowing me to wear their beautiful robe. Nishish, Kakhas, Bushkitan, my uncle's people. Nishish, it's good to see you here. Tsagwedi, Nishish, Chukanedi. Thank you for allowing us to have this time and to be a part of this. Nishish, ho. I'm going to have my older brother end it for us on this side. Kakao.
Hasif Katrina Kakhati. Gunashkish Trena Hachinji, you took our hands to bring us to Sitka. Ohan Soka Lekatu Shita Sauk Chikegachisane. We're going to dip our hands in what we learned from you, too. I'm always deathly afraid since I can't hear a thing anymore. That's the price I paid for being a trapper in Angoon. So I'm always afraid I'm going to say the wrong thing and people will laugh at the wrong. That reminds me of this old couple. They were watching golf. Old man sitting in front of TV. Oh, he loved golf. His wife sitting by him. He said, "Yep, in my next life, I'm going to dance. I'm going to play golf." His wife snapped at him, "How are you going to do that? You can hardly get around." I said, "In my next life." "Oh, I thought you said with your next wife." We're looking forward to this. I know there'll be times I've got little stories I want to share, but that'll wait. And it's good to be here. You know, a lot of things goes through the mind. I'm 89 years old now. I came to Sheldon Jackson in 1937. The Army pulled me out of junior college in 43. So this is a special town for me. To wake up and look out the window and see the city where I did a lot of dreaming about what I was going to be today. And I'm kind of glad I did all right. Thank you.
This concludes the welcome part, and I think that we'll. Okay. They want all of us to line up here and get one big photo of all of us together.
And everyone line up to get their photo. I just want to say one thing about this gathering of the leaders. Gives us a lot of strength in our hearts and the way of our life. אנחנו חפצים.
would like to have you stand as the clan leaders have a procession out of the conference room.
Is he going to do the keynote speaker?
We're going to have Marie Olson first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he could just stay up there instead of
Yeah, we'd be having to stay up.
Yeah. Okay. So we're heading out? Ray Dennis Jr., where are you at? Come on up here. Did anybody see Ray Dennis Jr.? Is he in the building? Somebody can do us a favor and check that side room, see if he's standing in there.
We need to move on with
Yeah,
we'll go ahead and change it till tomorrow, Gary.
Okay. Thank you, George. Well, some of the elder clan leaders are real tired, and they need to proceed out. And so we'll have the clan leaders proceed out.
There's Ray. Hey, Ray.
Go ahead.
Let's get it over with now. Come on up here, Ray. Just want to take a minute.
I don't know. I apologize for the back and forth here. Ray wasn't here, now he's here, and so please be seated.
We want to explain, this is a very important part of this discussion that we were supposed to have this little while ago, and somehow it got circumvented. Part of the discussion that was going to happen at the panel was that no clan leader gets removed or no housemaster gets removed. And it's been mentioned before, we are not a democratic society. This is not an electoral process. These guys are put in there through a traditional process. And it takes the opposite clan to acknowledge that process. So this is what we want to display today. The Deshitans are going to assist on this one here. So
He just mixed up.
They're trying to remove a clan leader that's been brought in through our court of law. It doesn't happen.
Ray
So we're making
is,
a point.
I call him my brother. His father and my father both come from the Killer Whale Fin House. Just as I look at Edwell as my father, I'm going to call on my son, Hana Foots, to address my brother. This is to recognize Ray will always be my brother, and that he is to be recognized as a clan leader until proper procedures or whatever that may be. I'm going to ask my son to put this on Ray.
Ganesh Chief, I'd like to thank my fathers, the Deshitan, for letting me help them here today. but it's not me going to be doing this. It's going to be my grandfathers of the Kagwantan, Wushkina, Takaish, Stuaka. They're the ones that's going to be here, placing the hat on Ray.
Edward John, Dr. Wade, help us rescue your child.
Sheesh Deshitan for allowing me to do this. This is quite the honor. This is not me that's doing this. It's the Taklawedi. My uncles, Uchkadaha, Tleakit, Yitsa, Kuskus Khan. This is why this is not an electoral process, because I could stand here and tell you that for thousands of years the Duxlawadi stood by the opposites, the Ravens. If this were an electoral process, I couldn't stand here and tell you that for thousands of years my uncles stood here. It's not me today that's putting this raven's tail blanket on you. It's the thousands of years, the Duxlawadi, that will be putting this on you today.
Anya Kusani. Ye Koti. Ish. Daksawadi. Khani. Daksawadi. Asgyati. Daksawadi. Goodness cheese. Thank you for welcoming me home. Askhani, Asif, Chukanadi, Gunachish. When I see my grandfathers, my in-laws, my children, the strength that is placed into me, is like the hand of God reaching in, causing this person to stand firm. To walk through the storms that life has. My outer shell that's here, Kagwantan, Tekwedi, Shungukedi, Sagwedi, Wishkitan, Six Nakadi, Gunnichish, for doing this, what you've done to this humble man. Make me feel at home in my grandfather's land. My outer shell, you've lifted me off the floor. You've caused the greatness to come into my heart. The things my brothers have done for me today, the statement, Gunnichish, yeah, what?
Kagwantan, Chiefs, for allowing us to have this brief moment. Thank you.
As they exit, please rise. And as was told to us by Harold, the old tradition, when we had the old clan houses and the gatherings, the tradition was not to clap, but it was to stamp your feet. So with that in mind, instead of clapping while you're standing and they're exiting, in appreciation, please stamp your feet. Kurashish.
What did you want to do? School?
Please be seated. We have our keynote speakers that are next, and also we're not going to